man. This is a post-game interview for Anthony Edwards, Kyle Anderson, and Mike Conley, bro. They lost it, man. They almost had it, but in the end, they just came up short. They couldn't close out, man. I'm out, bro. When you got Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, one of the best game closers, bro, it's very, very tough. Very tough. So let's hear what they have to say about Game 3. Because right now it's looking like a sweep.
Someone get the door, you. Thank you.
Kind of what do you pretty positive or trying to encourage everybody? Kind of what's your mindset now as you try to overcome a 3 deficit?
I mean, we ain't got nothing else to do. That's the only. We can't do nothing but be positive at this point. We can't be negative. So try to get one win at a time.
The offense dried up the last 5 minutes.
We had good looks. We had a couple good looks. Missed them. The ball got stuck a couple times in my hand.
Bro, to me, I don't know if anyone ever said this, but to me, Mike Conley, he reminded me of Amari Hardwick. That's what he looks like. He looks like Ghost.
And, got to get off of it a little bit more, but yeah, we'll be all right.
And what is it about you that doesn't see a sky is falling when the sky appears to be falling?
I never think the sky's falling. I don't know. I'm always positive, always happy. Been through the worst, so the sky's never falling for me.
Mike and Kyle, you guys got some offensive rhythm going together in that kind of two-man game in the fourth quarter. What was working there that can kind of extend over to Game 4?
Y'all can hear me? I thought we were just playing with a good pace, like the ball wasn't sticky. Kind of playing with that 0.5 mentality where, 2 dribbles, get off it, hit the pocket, that guy makes a play. Normally it was Kyle. Finding guys and just moving without the ball. When we play that way, we're a tough team to kind of gauge where to be at, where to load up on, who to load up on. So if we can move the ball like that, continue to have that continuity on offense, I think it'll allow our offense just to have a little bit more effectiveness, especially late game and when we're pressing for buckets.
Kyle, it seemed tonight if you guys forced the ball out of Kyrie or Luka's hands, other guys were hitting shots early in the game, and then if you guard them straight up, they were hitting shots late. Just how tough has it been to defend these guys, especially in this game too?
Yeah, those two are obviously really good shot makers, and when you get Derek Jones and PJ Washington and a lot of those other guys playing as well as they did, they're tough to beat. So just got to figure out a way to slow both of them down, and Luka and Kyrie, and as well as those other guys too. They can't all play well like that. We have to pick and choose, and that's what we're going to do Game 4.
Yeah, the dunk you had in the third quarter, did you feel at that time it maybe kind of galvanized the team a little bit? It seemed like it gave you guys a real shot in the arm at that time with the way you were able to tie the game together in the third.
I mean, hell yeah, I hope it did. Or at least I tried.
But I'm not, that dunk on, I think it was on Gadford, I think his name is. The Anthony Edwards dunked on him. That was a tough dunk, bro. I saw that real time live, bro. Through the lane, 1-2 dunk. It was crazy, man. That definitely, like, once he did that dunk, it felt like they got momentum and they got back in the game. I feel like basketball is all about momentum. So when Anthony Edwards did that shit was crazy.
Like schematically, the Dallas' defense has been really good for the last 2.5 months. Like the way you're talking about playing, like getting up the ball, just moving it. Is that the best way to kind of render the way teams load up, moot almost?
I think so. I think that you play into their hands when you hold the ball, when you.
Personally, I wonder if he's talking about Anthony Edwards, because on one hand, he said he needs to be more. Anthony Edwards said he needs to be more aggressive, right? But it felt like Anthony Edwards, I'm not going to call him a ball hog because he's the first option, but he was kind of in like I'm just gonna get a bucket type of mode. So I wonder if Michael Conley is kind of throwing shots at Anthony Edwards, talking about like moving the ball more, for then if the ball's not sticking to one person's hands.
Dribble out the clock. You're fighting against the shot clock. I thought that was the issue we had a little bit tonight, where we were, looking up and we had 10, 11 seconds on the clock, and at that point you have to force something instead of just being in action early, playing with a little bit more. Force going downhill and making plays, which we're capable of doing. And like I said, the last couple games, we're more than capable of making these adjustments and making these reads. And it's just we got to want to do it. We got to want to do it every single time against a defense like this, who's very long, athletic, smart, and calculated in what they do.
We've seen like when you lose 3 games, like in very close fashion like this, as a veteran, can that seep into the minds of a young team when it gets down to 4 minutes left and it's a close game and you don't have the positive reinforcement that we can beat this team when the game gets close? Do you see that?
I could say it'd be the opposite. If you were winning those games, you would feel confident when you look up and you look, 4 minutes left and you've been winning the games, you're going to think positive thoughts. And I think I can't speak for every person, but I'm sure we're looking up and say, how are we going to win this one? How we got to figure it out. This is a moment of the game where we got to be tight and together and figure it out. Obviously, it's on our minds because for the majority of this series, I felt like we've given ourselves a chance. We've given ourselves leads. We've given ourselves opportunities, and we know what part of the game we need to be better at. And the part that's going to win us the game is going to be that fourth quarter.
For the three of you, especially,
Michael, the one thing that this playoffs has taught me is that it's hard to close out games, man. Because even before this game, the Pacers versus Celtics game, the Pacers had the Celtics, but they couldn't close them out. So like this series is a series of closing out, man. Because it's been a lot. Even the Lakers, bro. Go back to the Lakers. The Lakers couldn't close, man. The fourth quarter is getting these teams every single time. So when you got someone like Luka and Kyrie who know how to close the fourth quarter out, that's extremely valuable.
I think in the first half, maybe you're struggling maybe to score the ball a little bit, and I felt like Kat was especially more aggressive, and Ant, you were especially facilitating the ball around. Is there something you could take away from that third quarter for your offensive rhythm, or just what was working there?
I don't think I was on the court, so it might be for y'all too. But no, just getting into our actions and getting good shots. We didn't shoot the ball as well as we would like to too. But in that spurt, I think we were doing a good job of getting into our actions, playing with pace. We obviously could play with a little more pace, but we were getting the shots we like. We just got to convert. That's just what it comes down to. Sometimes the NBA game comes down to making or missing shots, and we just got to make more shots and still work hard to get good shots. You know what I'm saying?
When you guys were in your two-man game and you're doing a lot of respacing, is it harder to respace when they're filling gaps and being a little bit tenser up there, or is it easier to respace, or is it just a different way?
Even when we was respacing and we was getting to our spots, we just wasn't knocking the shots down. So, at the end of the day, they're going to be in the gaps even more the more we miss. We didn't shoot the ball well from 3 tonight at all. I didn't make one. Nobody shot well but Jaden and Mike from 3. And, and if we keep shooting like that, then they just going to keep being in the gap. So no matter how we respace.
That's facts, bro. In this game, you got to hit threes. I think the whole thing of, like, you can be a big man and not hit threes. That still exists, obviously, but I think more and more you got to hit threes because then it just opens up the game so much more. Like, if they was hitting threes, Anthony Edwards can get a lot more busy. That's why on the other end with Dallas Mavericks, they was hitting threes, which allowed Luka, gave Luka more space to operate in the paint and hit little step backs and shit he did, or Kyrie Irving doing what he did.
Ace and get back out to the three-point line. If we don't knock them down, they're going to sit in the gaps all night.
Man, what in that box score stands out to you? See?
31 to 17. They had 31 free throws. We had 17.
Do you think the physicality that was emphasized in the second half of the season, they seemed like the refs were allowing you guys to play a little more hands, a little more with the body? There was foul trouble. I think you guys won a penalty with maybe 8 minutes. Is it inconsistency, Mike? You were in foul trouble. What did you see? How did you see? I won't say the game being called. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but did you feel it being a little different tonight?
Man, you trying, ain't you?
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I mean, completely honest with you. These refs was booty, man. They was straight booty. There was one point in the game, the ref called the play on the wrong person. He called it on Anderson, right? No, he called it on then he called it on Rudy Gobert when it was really on Anderson. And then you look at the foul that they were trying to call, and the guy, it wasn't even a real foul, man. It wasn't even a real foul. Like, the refs didn't even know who the foul was on. They were just calling fouls and shit. It was stupid, bro. These refs is garbage. These refs need to be fined. Hashtag find them fucking refs, man. This is crazy. If you're in the finals, you can't be calling those calls, bro, because these games, they are won by like only a couple points. So if the person's now in bonus, they hit 2 shots, you lose by 2, you're automatically gonna be like, well, guess what? The ref called a dumbass foul that wasn't a foul. These refs is trash, bro.
I promise I'm not.
No, honestly, a lot of my fouls were fouls, I thought. But it's about consistency on both ends. Yes, that's all we asked for at the end of the day. If I foul, I foul the jump shooter. I've done it 2 or 3 times this series.
Call the hands on when Mike fouled and just call it down there.
That's
all we asked for.
That's just consistency.
Yeah.
And if
They
we
did a
get
great job tonight. We just asked for the same calls down there.
Yeah.
And it's not unusual for teams have been throwing a lot of defensive attention at you all season, and especially in these playoffs. Why has this series, has that proven more difficult to overcome?
Like I said, I mean, we're not knocking the shot. Like, we've been knocking the shots down all the whole playoffs. Denver series, the Phoenix series, we was making all the shots. So it's harder to, do what you do when we knocking them down. But when we're not knocking them down, it's easier to crowd the paint. I was getting to the rim today, and it was just like 4 people in there,
Facts.
So they make it tough.
Even when Anthony Edwards was getting to the bucket, right, there was 3 to 4 people waiting for him. Only way there can be 3 to 4 people waiting for someone in the paint is if they don't care if y'all shoot. That means y'all not hitting shots. That's what that means.
Tough, man. They did a great job. Shout out to them.
Do you feel like you had the same burst in the fourth that you did in the third?
Yeah.
What do you guys have to do to get Carl going offensively in game 4?
I think Cat got to just do a better job of getting back to maybe his old self, finding himself around the basket more, rim running, taking advantage of mismatches. He's obviously a really good player, and he's big time for us. So, we need him to get going. So it's our job to, put him in the right position. And then the threes will fall. Yeah. But I think if he gets back to rim running or catching the ball on the block and, taking his time and going to finish, they got nothing for him. So, you just got to put him in the right, situations.
About Ant's leadership. Seemed really vocal after in the locker room, but what does that say about him that he's trying to get you guys up?
No, it says a lot. He's a guy that not only is trying to get guys going, keeping guys positive, but he'll be on himself, be the first one to say, he didn't have it or didn't bring it or didn't, should have did this better, that better. So he's holding himself accountable. It's something all of us can look up to and look at ourselves in the mirror and hold ourselves accountable.
That's an important point because I hate leaders or people who are in a leadership position who don't take accountability. You can't be a leader, right? If you just point your fingers, be like, yeah, he should have done this, he should have done that, you should have done that, and on the same end, your shit stinks too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like leaders who don't admit when they're wrong or take accountability for where they messed up at, that's when people start looking at him a little weird. That's why the whole criticism against LeBron James, people criticize him because I feel like people feel like he don't take accountability enough for when he fucks up. Like, you're the leader, take accountability for when you went wrong. Obviously other people make mistakes too, but take accountability for your mistakes.
To have him do that at 22 years old is impressive, and we wouldn't be in this position.
Anthony Edwards is only 22. You know what I'm saying? I think what this playoff showed me is that Anthony Edwards definitely got it. Luka and Kyrie are doing what they're doing, but Luka's like 25, and Kyrie's older than that. You know what I'm saying? He's like in his 30s, I think. So this definitely show a level of maturity. And I think Anthony Edwards is gonna grow into that and be a crazy player.
Position right now without that kind of leadership.
Thanks, guys.
You can also tell because of the way Anthony Edwards' teammates speak about him too. Like they always give him that, like, yeah, bro, Anthony Edwards is him. Like he be doing his thing. So I respect that, bro. That was a good game, man. One thing though that they gotta do, they gotta get Rudy Gobert off these guards. They gotta have Rudy Gobert stop guarding these guards, and Jaden McDaniels gotta stop fouling, bro. Luka was shitting on Jaden McDaniels. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then Kyrie and Luka shitted on Rudy Gobert every chance they got, and Cat. It was bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you haven't already, check out the highlights of the game. Catch yourself up because we got Game 4 coming up, not tonight but tomorrow night, and it's gonna be a goodie, bro. I don't personally believe Anthony Edwards is gonna let them get swept. I don't believe it. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. All right, y'all. That's all I got for y'all, man. I'm gonna fuck with you when I fuck with you. Peace and blessings.